sleep well?
Good morning. Yeah, pretty well. Eventually, that is.
They tell me you were up half the night reading again.
What are you talking about?
I see you take a book out of one of the cartons, and next morning the bookmark's halfway through it.
Maybe I'm a speed reader. Hey, do me a favor. Play that for me.
Play what?
You know, the song. The song you played last night. The music box tune?
Not now. Come on, let's have
Now,
breakfast.
come on, Emily. Please play it for me. I really need to hear it.
No, Kirk. Because of the way it upset you.
Emily, it upset me because it reminded me of something. I couldn't get to sleep till late last night because I was trying to make some sense out of the image it gave me. The carousel.
No, Kirk, I told you about the carousel. That's what put the image in your head. I told you the music box was in the shape of a carousel.
What about the picnic, Emily? Did you tell me about that?
No.
And the girl in the sunlight?
Look, could we go in and have breakfast now? I have to do shopping this morning.
Emily, please. Please play it for me again. I really need to hear it. I thought I remembered it, but the melody's gone out of my head.
All right. I don't know if I can remember it.
Hello. Oh, yeah. Send her up. Sure. What's she doing? Good morning. What are you doing back so soon? Huh? Well, vacation's over, dummy. You know it's going to be short.
Yeah, but Oh, well, you weren't expected back until late tonight.
Well, that was the original plan, but Miles got a forensic assignment that only he could handle.
Oh, no.
Well, hey, can I help you? Look, I consider myself lucky. The call came in 3 days ago, and we could have cut the vacation short then. But, as it was, we got almost as much time as we were supposed to.
Did you have a good time? I mean, did you have fun? You look wonderful. You must have had a good time.
We had a great time.
Here.
It was terrific. It couldn't have been more perfect. It was a conspiracy of angels with one devil here in Monticello.
Chief Mallory, huh?
No. Logan.
Logan? Logan called Miles?
Well, sure, don't you remember that night that he was here and he asked to speak to Miles?
Well, yeah. Yeah, but I had no idea he was going to talk to Miles about anything like that.
Well, he did, and he must have made it sound important, too, because I think it bothered Miles for the rest of the vacation. In fact, I know it bothered him because I beat him 6'2", 6'0", and 6'4".
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that explains a lot. It explains Logan's change of attitude that night. I'm going to have to talk to him. I really think it took a lot of nerve to ruin your vacation like that.
Oh, no, listen, don't bother him. It didn't really spoil anything.
You sure? I know how much you two needed this vacation. From the looks of you, it did you a world of good.
Well, I think it helped Miles out a little bit, too. You know, I haven't seen him look this relaxed in months. However, driving back, he looked a little tense again.
Oh, come on, it probably had to do because he was upset with his vacation being over.
No, I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it had to do with his business at police headquarters. That's where he went first thing.
Didn't go home first?
He dropped me off at the door, and then he went straight off to meet Chief Mallory and Logan, too, probably.
Boy, this must be an important case.
Yeah. And naturally, it had to do with an autopsy. Wonderful way to end a vacation, huh?
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't make any sense with two bodies to be handcuffed together like this. Somebody must have come along and separated them and then thought better of it and put the cuffs back on again.
Just don't ask us why, Miles. We haven't come up with any acceptable answers.
Oh, Mike's got a couple of theories, but we'd have a hard time proving them.
Theories are going to do us no good until we make definite identification of that body.
Well, you mean to say you didn't exhume both of them?
No, just Scott. There's no need to bring up Dwyer. He wasn't so badly burned. His son identified him.
That's right, I remember. Well, look, whatever happens this morning, whatever we find out, I think it's a good idea if we do not tell April. I think that's unnecessarily cruel.
That's why we came up with a story for the exhumation.
Well, it wasn't a complete fiction. After all, Draper was under the jurisdiction of the state when the wreck occurred. If he did make an escape attempt, then we're within
What
our...
are you saying, Logan? You knew Draper as well as anybody else. You know
Miles,
he didn't try to
hey, I
escape.
didn't mean to suggest for a moment that he might have taken advantage of the situation. For all we know, Dwyer himself freed Draper from those cuffs.
Now, wait a second. Somebody on the rescue team told me that Dwyer was pinned under a lot of wreckage. Maybe Scott had no choice.
Right.
You really both think it's possible the other body is not Draper, that he got away, that he wasn't killed?
Not in the fire, anyway.
Well, that's right. Almost as many people were drowned as were burned in the wreck.
He may have saved himself from one fate just to suffer another. And if not, where is he?
Well, see, that's just the point. Where would he be?
Yeah, you'd have heard by now that Nola Madison confessed to killing April's mother and that she's in jail for the crime.
And even if he hadn't, even if he were still trying to hide, which I find to be very unlikely, he still would have made an effort to get in touch with the one person in this world who means the most to him.
Somehow, some way, he'd have gotten back to April.
And since he hasn't, that's why I think we're mistaken about this. There's got to be another answer.
Can you think of one?
No.
Did you get in touch with Dr. Wexler?
Yes, I did. I've got Draper's dental x-rays right here. Complete set.
Oh, these will do fine.
Also, Dr. Wexler says he will be available tomorrow if you need consultation.
I don't think we need to wait that long. I've done some dental identification work myself. If you give me about an hour, I should be able to tell you whether or not the body is Draper's.
Okay.
We'll see you down there shortly.
April said her brother's coming back this evening, and she's promised to talk to him about that job just as soon as possible.
I'll get those books you want out of the closet.
Okay. You know, that poor man, he doesn't even know there's an opening. His nurse hasn't broken the news to him yet. Really would be wonderful working there, though, since it's the only thing I'm qualified to do, work for a doctor. Working for Daddy those 10 years. It didn't even seem like a job.
Yeah, well, don't get your hopes up. The woman's done so much for us. I'm sure she's going to get tired of playing the Good Samaritan sooner or later.
Well, don't forget, we're doing her a favor, too.
How? By buying her house?
No, I mean Molly. We're getting Molly to work for her.
Yeah, you're doing Molly the favor. The only thing she'd like more is to come here and work for us.
Which is totally out of the question. But she'll be nearby, and she'll be working for a friend.
Does she sound all that enthusiastic about it?
Oh, Kirk. I wish you could have heard her when I told her. She was so happy she almost cried. She was a little intimidated when I told her it was a penthouse, though.
Well, for someone who hates the city as much as she does, this is a big step.
Yeah, no. I told her that a penthouse is really terrific, and it's much quieter than most city apartments. I think that made her feel a little bit better. And, of course, I told her what a wonderful employer she'll have.
You really seem like you're getting to like this woman.
Oh, Kirk, she's an angel. I just wish I could get the two of you together so you could see for yourself. She really gets a lot of pleasure out of helping people. You know, I think I could be like that myself someday. But not now. I'm much too selfish.
You selfish? No. You're anything but selfish.
Would you you stop that?
Stop what?
Playing that damn piano. You're making me sorry I had it brought here.
Because of one song?
Because of what that song did to you.
What that song did to me was give me another image from my past. Picnic in the sunshine.
You said it was cold.
The carousel. I can see it. It was going round. I can hear the music, see the horses going up and down. It was empty, though. But I could still see it going around.
I'm sure it was just a childhood memory. The woman was probably your mother.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think so. I can't see her face. The sun is so bright. It's obscuring everything, making her hair all that much more golden.
You mean she was a blonde, this woman?
I can't tell. The sun is so bright. Maybe it's making her look more fair than she is. I don't know. Hey, what's the matter?
Nothing.
I upset you, didn't I?
No.
Oh, I did. I hurt you, and I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Kirk, can't you understand how this makes me feel? Hearing you talk about another woman. A woman you could have loved. Maybe somebody you still love. If that were true, I just couldn't stand it. I just couldn't.
Oh, yeah, Becky Goodman was wonderful with Adam. I don't think he missed us at all.
Oh, I certainly doubt that.
Well, anyway, we're lucky to have her.
Hey, listen, I may have found a gem of my own.
Oh, yeah?
Well, Emily Michaels, the lady who's buying my house, had this wonderful housekeeper. Actually, it was her father's housekeeper. The woman's name is Molly Sherwood, and she worked for the family for about 10 years.
Oh, then she should know how good she is.
Emily swears by her, says that she'll get along wonderfully with Julia and that she'll have this house ticking like a clock in no time at all, which would be a wonderful thing, considering I've just realized what a lousy housekeeper I am.
Oh, that's not true. You're wonderful. Remember the way you used to keep the house going and you were working at the studio?
Well, maybe since I stopped working, I've lost my knack at keeping a house together. Or maybe housekeeping just doesn't thrill me with the same enthusiasm as it used to. Or maybe it's because there isn't anyone around here to tell me how absolutely wonderful I am and compliment me all the time.
Well, there's Julia.
She doesn't even talk yet.
That's true.
Oh, look, forget about that. I've got some news for you. When and if Miles ever gets to his office, he's in for a little shock. Carol Barkley is leaving. She's getting married.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
I think you know the guy. He is an ex-patient of Miles, works for this big corporation. Well, the corporation is transferring him. That's why she has to leave.
I'm going to have to call her right away. That's great. You're right, though. Miles is not going to be very happy about this.
Well, I have some even better news. I have also found Carol Barkley's replacement, Emily Michaels.
The same woman?
The same woman. I think she's going to be perfect. Look, she's very intelligent. She's a very sweet lady. And she's also had experience. Her father was a doctor, and she handled his practice for years.
What do you know?
I know that she's not a nurse. But I don't think Miles' practice really needs a nurse anymore, do you? I mean, don't you think it's a good idea? Tell me.
Well, sure, it's a good idea. I mean, if you like her, I'm sure Miles will like her. She wouldn't have to be a teenager, would she?
No, why?
Oh, it's a joke. I'm still trying to figure out who that strange girl was who was following me around before I left.
What strange girl?
I told you. I didn't tell you. Well, she was a very pretty teenage girl. She was hanging around the studio and hanging around the studio coffee shop when I was there. And the morning I left, she was hanging around outside of the house.
It's very peculiar, too.
Yeah, well, I think it was her anyway. Becky saw her when she came in, and then Miles went out to see her, and she wasn't there. It's kind of strange, isn't it?
5, 6, 7, 8. Keep those arms straight. All right, wait a minute. Try to remember what the audience is seeing. You're not dancing for your own amusement. Now, think of your arms as the crossbar of the letter T and stretch. Reach out to both sides of the stage and as if you're going to touch them. Now, let's try it again, okay? Five, 6, 7, 8. Take a 10-minute break and we'll start again, all right? Keep your legs warm.
Hi.
How you doing, Sleeping Beauty?
Okay. I came to thank you about the tip for the waitress job. I got it.
Well, congratulations. Does that mean you want to start those dance lessons?
Well, sure. If you can take me on credit. I haven't made any money yet.
Yeah, that's okay with me. Well, the only thing is you'll have a few more expenses than dance lessons, won't you?
Well, nothing more important.
Not even food, clothing, and shelter?
I don't eat more than one meal a day. I have to keep my weight down now, don't I? Besides, I figured I'll get plenty to eat at the Unicorn.
And sleeping where?
I'll find someplace.
Listen, if you want to crash here for a couple more nights, that's okay.
Do you really mean it?
You won't be the first one.
Yeah, but you seemed so upset when you found me here.
Yeah, that is different. I don't like to be surprised.
I'm really sorry about that. I didn't plan to sleep here. No, that's a lie. I did think about spending the night here the minute I saw your sign. I just had no place else to go.
You were really that broke, huh?
I gave my last few bucks to a motel on the outside of town.
Why did you decide to travel without any money? Or was that the only choice you had?
It's just time for me to move on, that's all. I didn't have time to save up.
Do you move around a lot?
As little as possible. It all depends on the opportunities.
And what kind of opportunity are you looking for in Monticello?
Same thing I always look for. A job. Friends.
Lovers?
Next question.
Do you know anybody in this town?
I told you, I'm a stranger here. Well, I guess I do know one person. It's just that she doesn't know me.
Okay, everybody, let's go. Five, 6, 7, 8.
Want some of this?
No, thank you.
What's the matter? Don't you like the atmosphere down here?
Don't think I'd want to throw a party here, no.
You get used to it when you're a cop.
I'll take your word for it. I'm going to stay in courtrooms.
How's your custody suit coming?
It's not. At least not yet. It hasn't started. Mike's pretty confident we can get the case on the calendar for next month, though.
Bet you'll be glad when it's over and done with.
Oh, yeah. That's if I get custody of my son.
You really think you've got more right to him?
Yes, I do. For one reason, I want him. Raven doesn't.
You don't think that's true?
Never been more sure of anything in my life. I can give you plenty of reasons if you've got the time. You got a week or two?
She went through an awful lot of trouble to get that boy. Some people might think she really cared for him. You think it was just spite?
Now, spite, malice, call it what you want. It certainly wasn't maternal feelings. Raven doesn't have any. She doesn't have any feelings.
That's a lousy thing to say.
Well, I'm sorry. It's funny how our conversations keep coming around to Raven these days. Now, I know you don't think as badly of her as I do, but then you're seeing her and I'm not. I'm not close enough to fall under the old spell anymore. She casts a spell. She wouldn't be half as successful with men as she is if she wasn't able to convince them that she cares for them. Has she convinced you yet?
What'd you find out, Miles?
It's not Draper.
Well then, he must have drowned in the river.
He could be alive somewhere.
This meeting here, I can't neglect my practice.
Now, and I appreciate being able to meet somewhere other than headquarters. I'm getting fish eyes from enough people because of this Draper Scott autopsy.
It wasn't Draper's autopsy.
Oh, whoever that was handcuffed to Dwyer.
Just how many people down at headquarters know about this autopsy anyway?
Well, Calvin Stoner, Deborah Saxon, they know, and they know why it was ordered.
But they don't know the results. They don't know that it wasn't Draper's body.
No, they don't. But they're not going to stop asking questions, and I can't hold them off forever.
Well, I don't know that you really should. After all, it was their case from the beginning, theirs and Steve Guthrie's.
It's true, they're the ones who broke it. They're the ones who got Nola Madison's confession.
Good, because I didn't want to keep this information secret. I'll make it classified. Put it on a need-to-know basis. That way, at least we can conduct a proper investigation.
Well, maybe Deborah and Calvin can be helpful there.
Maybe.
You sound reluctant.
I can't decide just what this is. I'm investigating. Whatever happened up there might be in the jurisdiction of the Graham County Police.
No, I don't buy that. Draper was tried under our jurisdiction. A Monticello jury put him on that train. He's our responsibility.
And we gotta know what it means, Derek. Whether Draper disappeared, whether he escaped, whether he was drowned.
Drowned is the most likely possibility.
I don't want to deal with possibilities anymore. I want facts. I need them, so does my sister. Just think about her for a minute, will you? Think about her at the funeral, saying her goodbyes to the wrong man.
Time being, I am not buying this escape story either. I just don't believe that Draper would deliberately run away, no matter how good the opportunity to do so was.
Logan, that's an emotional judgment. What we need are some rational ones.
Then where is he? Is it rational to believe that he is still hiding from a sentence that he no longer has to serve?
Well, there's still the possibility that he didn't know that he was exonerated. Even that he doesn't know now.
Why wouldn't he? Don't tell me. He jumped the nearest tramp freighter and he worked his way to Equatorial Africa, where now, disguised as a missionary, he is completely out of touch with everything save the pygmies. I don't believe that.
Logan, if it makes you feel any better, I don't believe it either.
Then what do you think?
Unfortunately, I think the odds are with your version that he drowned.
So do I. But I want to be 100% certain.
There's no way to be certain. At least a dozen bodies were never recovered. There is no other really viable alternative if you're going to eliminate death in disguise.
How about illness? I know it's thin, but it's possible. He could be lying somewhere in a coma.
In a hospital somewhere? Then why wouldn't we have been notified?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps he had no identification when he was brought in. Perhaps he can't speak. I said it was thin.
But you know, serious injury is a possibility we ought to consider. I mean,
If his head was injured, maybe he might have gotten amnesia. If he had such bad injuries that he was disfigured, he might not want to come back because of his physical condition.
Oh, come on. Now, look, I have had enough missing person cases in my career. And it usually comes down to the same answer. If somebody's missing, it's because they want to be, or because they're dead.
So what are you saying, Derek? Think we ought to drop the whole thing?
We can't drop it. We have to answer that handcuff thing. And we have to identify that body.
All right, but let's do it quietly so that April does not find out about it.
Do you think it's possible to keep her from finding
I don't know
out?
whether it's possible or not, but I want us to try. It's just too damn cruel to let her go on thinking there's even a 1% possibility that her husband is alive. You imagine her sitting by the telephone waiting for it to ring, waiting for the door to open, waiting for word that her husband is still alive?
She'd put her whole life on hold.
It's exactly what she would do. It would not be good for her. Or for Julia. Or for the people who care about her.
Hello?
Emily, it's Kirk.
Kirk, hi, where are you?
Emily, I'm at work. I have a job.
You have a job?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for somebody to bring me some forms I have to fill out. And the funny thing is, I didn't get this job through one of the ads in the paper. I was just riding past and I saw a place that had a sign out front that said "Man Wanted."
Kirk, that is just wonderful. It's terrific. Now, what kind of company is it?
I don't know. It's a factory. They make machine parts.
I see some of them lying around here, but I don't know what they are. And I also learned something about my past. I wasn't technically inclined.
But what can you do there if you don't know anything about the work? Do they have some kind of training program?
Oh yeah. They're going to train me, and I'll learn fast.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
The thing that really pleased me about this job was the fact that they didn't ask me a lot of questions about my past. Now,
Emily, that was a blessing.
Well, they must have asked you about job experience.
This job doesn't need any experience. That's why it's so perfect.
Well, aren't you going to work in the office?
Emily, for me, there is no office work. Not in Oakdale.
this job pays $150 a week. It's good, honest work, and that's all I care about. Well, eventually I'm going to have to learn the inventory and the names for all these parts, because there's a chance that I could head up the parts department. But I can handle that. I know I can.
Kirk, if you're happy, then I'm happy too.
Emily, I am happy.
I may be a man without a memory, but I'm a man with a job.
Okay, Mike, here's the stuff.
I have to go. I'll talk to you in a couple of hours.
Okay, now look, Molly should be here any minute, so if we're not here when you get back, then we'll probably be at April's.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, Mr. DeLuca.
Oh, that's okay. Just fill out those forms, make the front office happy.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have a pen.
Well, I think I might have one here.
Thank you.
You're a lucky guy, Mike. I mean, half the places in town are dropping people from the payrolls.
Yeah, I am lucky, believe me. But my name, it's not Mike. It's Kirk.
So where'd I get Mike?
Oh, hey, my name, my last name, Michaels.
Oh, yeah, sure. Anyway, there must have been 50 guys maybe would line up for this job. And here you come along as soon as we hang out the sign.
I really appreciate this opportunity.
Need the job, huh? I mean, newly married, new home, all that stuff.
Yeah, I need it, Mr. DeLuca.
Hey, can't have Mr. DeLuca stuff. You call me Jock. Yeah, everybody calls me that. That's kind of because I used to be an athlete. Yeah, I could have been a shortstop for the Red Sox. Yeah, I was a great power hitter.
Yeah, I mean, no kidding.
Yeah, but I couldn't run, They used to throw me out from left field. Listen, fill those stuff out and drop them off my office later, right? Okay. Okay, see you, Mike.
My name. My name isn't Mike. Mike.
Well, I can't believe I'm here.
Oh.
I never thought I'd see you again.
Oh, no. Come here.
Oh, this beautiful house. Oh, I am just so happy for you, Miss Emily.
Oh, Molly, here, let me take you.
Thank you.
I am happy that you've come to Monticello. And I don't want to hear any more of this Miss Emily. We're friends now.
Yes, well, that's really why I did come to Monticello. Not because of the job you told me about, because I want to be very sure that everything is all right with you. Miss Emily, excuse me, Emily, it is just beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, it's much nicer than I imagined from your letter.
Ah, well, we were really so lucky, so terribly lucky. It was a miracle that we even found the house. Come sit down. And even more of a miracle that it belonged to Mrs. Scott.
Well, that's the lady you want me to go to work for.
Yes, and Molly, she is the dearest, kindest woman you'd ever want to meet. Well, I told you how we were able to afford this place.
Oh, yes, you said she made some kind of special arrangement.
Yeah. The truth is we could never have afforded a place like this price range, but she made it all possible, just because she liked us.
Both of you? I mean, she hasn't met your husband yet.
No, she hasn't met Kirk, but, well, she knows how nice he is just from the way I've talked about him. Oh, Molly, I have really missed you.
Oh, well, I guess I missed you a great deal more sitting up in that old house by myself.
Oh. Yeah, I've often thought about you and wondered how you were doing there. But I won't have to worry about you now that you'll be working for Mrs. Scott.
Well, I mean, that's not sure yet, is it? I haven't even met the woman.
No, but she's willing to give you a try based on my recommendation. And I know she's going to be very happy with you. Why wouldn't she be?
Well, I mean, I haven't had that much practice with little babies, and except, well, I did take care of my sisters when they were little.
There you go. Sure. You know, I always thought that you had very strong maternal instincts. You just wanted to hide them from everyone.
Well, I never felt I could show my feelings. It seems safer that way, I guess.
I know what you mean. I used to feel that way before Kirk came back to me.
Then you're still happy. I mean, there hasn't been any trouble.
Trouble? No, of course not. Everything's just fine. In fact, Kirk called us a little while ago, and he's found himself a job.
A job in Monticello?
No, in Oakdale, right here. You see, Kirk didn't take too well to the city, so we thought it would be better if he worked close to the house.
Oh, Miss Emily, that's a very good idea. I'm very happy about that.
Yes. And I might have a job, too, soon.
Oh.
But we'll talk about that another time. First, we have to get your job settled with April Scott.
Oh, April, that's her first name.
Yes, and she's expecting us, so we really ought to get started, okay? Got the keys.
Oh, that's all right. I've been taking up your whole morning. I think I'll leave you in peace.
Why? You haven't ruined my morning, that's for sure. The only thing I really had to do today was, take care of Julia.
You were in the middle of house cleaning when I came over.
And believe me, I'm in no mood to go back to it. Why should I? We are getting a housekeeper today.
That's right. You said she was coming this afternoon. What's her name again?
Molly Sherwood, and Emily Michaels says she's an absolute gem.
Why is Mrs. Michaels giving up such a gem?
Because Molly was not Emily's housekeeper. Molly was Emily's father's housekeeper. And Emily and her husband are rather in difficult financial straits. And besides, they're newlyweds. What do they need a housekeeper for? What do I need a housekeeper for? Don't tell me. I know. I do need someone to help me take care of Julia and this huge apartment.
Absolutely. That's what I've been telling you for weeks. Listen, I really do have to go. I have a lunch date with Miles in about half an hour.
Are you picking him up at the office?
Yeah, he has a meeting with Derek and Logan.
Don't tell me about this emergency autopsy.
Yeah. Don't ask me why an autopsy has to be an emergency, but that's the way he made it sound. Only something Miles can handle, according to Logan.
Oh, come on, Logan. Logan knows that Miles is really good at what he does. Before you leave, I've got an idea. How about the four of us getting together here for dinner tonight?
That would be very nice.
Good. I'll give Logan a call. Oh, on second thought, I don't know if it's such a good idea.
Why?
Well, Logan has been rather preoccupied with this case. But I'm not so sure he'd be interested in coming for dinner.
All right, I'm gonna go back to headquarters. Brief Stoner and Saxon. Swear them to secrecy.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if that guaranteed secrecy?
No, there are no guarantees. Too many people know that there's something in the air.
Well, as long as we do the best we can, that's all I ask.
Okay, talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Well, guess I better get out of your hair, too.
No, that's all right. There are no patients clamoring outside. I don't have another one till 2 o'clock. Nicole's meeting me here for lunch. You want to join us?
No, I better go back to the office, shuffle some papers.
You don't know how you feel about this revelation, do you?
No, I don't. Part of me would like to believe that all this means is the chance that Draper's still alive.
Well, we'd all like to believe that.
Except that the other part knows how high the odds are against that. I've got to have a definite answer, though, Miles. Can't live with this doubt hanging over me. That's the surest way I know to get an ulcer.
I know how you feel.
I've decided to...
Excuse me. Yeah, Carol. No, sure, send her in. Nicole is here.
Hello. Hello, Logan. Well, you two don't look very cheery. Did I interrupt a serious conference?
No, it's all over. Logan, I think I'm going to have to expand the circle.
Circle? What circle?
I think Nicole has a right to know.
Okay, sure.
Well, now what? Does this have something to do with that autopsy?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Sweetheart, the body that I examined was supposed to be the body of Draper Scott.
Draper?
Do you remember when we were in Palace Park and I got those telephone calls? Turned out that Mike Carr had been going through some photographs of the bodies in the train wreck. He noticed a peculiarity. The hands were handcuffed in the wrong way. It was both right hands.
I don't understand. What?
The body was incorrectly identified. The man we buried wasn't Draper. We don't know who he was, but he wasn't Draper. Somehow, he and Sergeant Dwyer must have been separated before the fire, and some stranger ended up on Draper's end of the handcuffs.
Well, where is Draper?
Well, he's dead, most likely. Drowned in the flood that caused the accident.
We assumed it happened that way anyway.
However, there's some doubt, so there's got to be an investigation.
That's what I was about to tell you when Nicole came in. Whatever the police do, I've decided on a course of action for myself.
Why, what do you mean?
Got a couple of weeks vacation coming up. I'm going to spend it in scenic Graham County. I'll find an answer to this.
Well, I must say it's been quite a day for me. 2 beautiful homes in one afternoon.
I told you it was lovely, didn't I?
Emily tells me you're not very much for the city, Molly, but I think you'll find that the city is a long way off when you're all the way up here. Also, on a clear day, I'll bet you might even be able to see Evansville from here.
Oh, well, it's no matter what, it's such a beautiful view.
Yeah. And listen, even the traffic sounds far off, which is a good thing, which means you will be able to hear Julia whenever she cries, which, if I might add, is not very often. I think you'll find she's really quite a wonderful baby.
And very beautiful, don't you think so?
Oh, thank you.
I'm just so glad that she smiled when I picked her up.
Oh, well, I better tell you, I was rather impressed with the way you handled her.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, how many rooms do you have, Mrs. Scott?
Well, let's go inside and talk about that before the rains. Let's see, there are 3 rooms upstairs, which you saw,
Yes.
and there are 4 rooms down here. But I'll tell you, it's not a difficult place to keep clean, and you won't have to worry about any of the heavy house cleaning, because I do have a service come in once a week.
Well, simply beautiful. It deserves the best care.
Well, does that mean you're going to take the job?
Oh, do you mean that? Oh, yes, if you'd like me to, Mrs. Scott.
Of course I would. I thought that was all understood. Emily's recommendation meant a great deal to me. Oh, speaking of Emily, I don't mean to rush you, but didn't you say you had to meet Kirk or something? He was leaving work?
Oh, you're right. You want to tell me all about the new job? I better get started.
Listen, you tell him how happy I am.
Okay, I will.
Good.
You say, excuse me.
Sure.
Now, you'll have to call me as soon as you get a chance tomorrow.
Yes, of
okay?
course I will. And thank you so very much for everything.
Okay.
Well, yes, there is a lot of dust, especially when I keep the terrace doors open.
Well, I don't know how you can resist it with that view.
I can't, so that's why I guess it just needs a little more vacuuming.
Oh, well, that's all right. I'm used to doing carpets for 15 rooms.
Emily told me the house was large.
No, it was. Oh, it's one of those old, big old rumbling houses everybody used to build. But it was warm and cozy, and those were very good years for me.
I hear you were part of the family.
Oh, yes. Well, I like to think about myself that way. But now the family's gone, Dr. Galt is dead, and Emily's married and living here in Oakdale.
I think you two will still be close.
Oh, yes, I know we will. Oh, well, here I am, socializing when I came to work. Now, you just tell me how I can help, Mrs. Scott.
I can't think of anything. Why don't you just relax for a little bit after your long trip?
No, I'm just fine. You tell me what has to be done first.
Well, everything's got to be done. I haven't done a thing. I haven't even made up my bed. The place is a mess.
Well, why don't we start with that? You give me the sheets.
Okay. There you go. I think I'll just go check on my daughter.
Oh, dear God, April Scott. It's her. It's his wife. Maybe they'll be happy there with a new life for both of them. Don't they deserve that chance?
There won't be any chance, Molly. There'll only be shock and disappointment. And God knows how it'll affect Emily when this young man is identified by his friends, his family.
Well, maybe that won't happen. He's different now.
He's well known in Monticello, a public figure. That's why his picture was on the front page.
But if everyone thinks he's dead, including himself...
It doesn't matter, Molly, the fact that they believe him dead. He'll still be recognized sooner or later. And they'll know Draper Scott when they see him.
Oh, so that's his name. You never mentioned it before. And please, make it the last time.
What?
I've been thinking, Doctor. And I say you're wrong. I think you should just let things stand exactly as they are.
Oh, Molly, I just peeked in at Julia. You should see she's sleeping there in the cutest position.
What time are Dr. and Mrs. Cavanaugh arriving?
Oh, gee, they should be here within an hour. I guess I should start bringing stuff out of the kitchen.
Oh, no, you don't have to. I'll do it.
Well, I'll help you.
Well, it's ready. Everything's ready.
You are a dynamo. You weren't in this house 5 minutes before you started cleaning everything up, and you haven't stopped since.
It's my job.
Well, you're making me feel a little guilty. I mean, I'm the one who created this whole mess. I haven't been a very conscientious housekeeper lately.
I know you've had other things on your mind.
Yeah.
It's terribly hard losing someone you love. Especially the way it happened.
You knew about that? Well, it never ceases to amaze me how many people seem to know my whole life story. I guess it's because the accident that killed Draper became a media event.
Oh, well, it just wasn't covered very much in Evansville. I found out about it through a friend.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I had to live the story at all. It was such a sad ending.
Yes, I hate unhappy endings myself.
I owe Emily an extra big thank you for suggesting that you move down to Monticello. You are everything she said you were, and more.
Oh, you and Emily seem to be making very good friends.
Yeah, well, we've really hit it off.
Emily was always a shy type. I was surprised to find out that she made friends so quickly, having moved to a new city.
Yeah, well, I am very grateful that we became friends for several reasons.
You know, Mrs. Scott, I don't believe that Emily ever told me how you two met. It must have been quite a coincidence.
Coincidence?
Well, maybe that's not just the perfect word. Lucky?
Now, there's a good word. I think we brought each other luck. This way, I found a buyer for my house and a wonderful housekeeper.
And Emily found what she wanted, that beautiful house of yours.
Yeah. Did she ever tell you how she found the house?
No.
It was Kirk, her husband, who told her to make a turn down the street that the house is on, even though they were going in the completely opposite direction.
Oh, really? Well, oh, maybe he just has a bad sense of direction.
Oh, I don't know. They fell in love with it the first time they saw it, and I wanted to sell it to them. It's important to me who lives in that house. Does that sound strange to you?
Oh, no, I can understand that.
Yeah? The house was important to me and my husband, and I wanted the right couple to live in it.
You never met Emily's husband?
No. No, as a matter of fact, I haven't, unfortunately. But I hear he hasn't been well.
No, he hasn't.
You must know Kirk pretty well, don't you?
Well, yes, I know him.
Molly, I don't want to sound like I'm prying, but, is there something seriously wrong with him?
Well, it's hard to tell.
No, listen, Emily told me that he's been recuperating from an accident.
Yes, he has. But at the moment, Emily is the only person he feels comfortable with. Her devotion seems to give him the support he needs. Otherwise, well, it's a long, hard road.
Yeah, it's a shame. Emily told me that he's a very, very gentle man and that I would probably like him very much.
Yeah, possibly. At some other time, you see, he's suffering from memory blanks, and it makes him very withdrawn. I mean, he can't even cope with the idea of meeting strangers at the moment.
Yeah, well, I certainly wouldn't want to do anything to complicate matters.
If everyone would feel that way and they would be left alone, I know they would be happy.
Well, that's what I want, Molly. You know that. I probably as much as you do.
Well, then please, just trust me when I tell you it would be a kindness just to leave them in peace.
How was your first day at work? Tell me all about it.
It was tiring. I am exhausted.
Oh, you go sit down and relax, and I'll fix us a drink.
Thank you.
I'm really glad that you work so close to home.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Emily, you have no idea how good it felt. I mean, how good it felt to do an honest, productive day's work. And the guys I work with, I mean, they're all terrific. And the job. Job itself has so much responsibility. You know, I have a whole warehouse full of inventory I've got to deal with, plus all the paperwork I have to learn how to do. It's going to take me quite a while. But right now, all I want to do is concentrate on bringing home a good, steady paycheck so I can keep my promise to your father.
What do you mean?
Well, I told your father that I would look after you, make sure you didn't want for anything.
You're all I need to feel happy.
Oh, yeah. Love will go so far, but it won't buy the groceries. It won't pay the mortgage. That's what I have to do. No more than that. It's what I intend to do.
I love you.
Yeah, we really shouldn't be depressed about this.
Well, at the moment, it's hard to know exactly how to react.
Well, it may mean that Draper's still alive.
Maybe.
Well, if that's true, it would be the most wonderful thing in the world.
Look, sweetheart, all that autopsy meant was that it wasn't Draper's body. It was handcuffed to Sam Dwyer. It does not mean that Draper escaped that train wreck.
Yeah. I suppose that he probably drowned in the river with the rest of the victims.
Considering he hasn't gotten in touch with anybody, that's the most plausible explanation.
Listen, do you think we could just cancel tonight?
Why? We both want to see April. We want to see Julia.
Oh, but it's going to be so hard to pretend that nothing's happened.
Yeah, well, we got to do it. I don't want April picking up any strange vibes from us and starting to ask questions.
I think it would have been a lot kinder if you'd never discovered this misidentification.
Well, we won't know that until the matter's been investigated further.
Yeah, but until then, we have to protect April.
I know that. We got to keep the lid on, too. It'd be good for her to find this speculation splashed all over some morning headline.
Yeah, if she finds out, she could spend the rest of her life waiting and hoping.
For the return of a dead man. I don't want that to happen.
Well, especially now that she started to adjust. I mean, she started to come back into the world.
Talking about Logan?
Well, partly, yeah. I don't really know how Logan feels about April, but I know she depends upon him as a good friend. And, you know, she told me that he's been sort of cold to her the past few days. I can understand if he cares about her. This news about Draper must have shaken him terribly.
Have a good workout?
Well, my muscles will probably be so sore in the morning.
You know, just because I let you use the place doesn't mean you get to decorate it.
I don't understand. What's the problem?
I figured when I got around to it, I'd put up a couple of posters of Broadway shows, sort of as an inspiration.
So?
Well, your little contribution isn't exactly what I had in mind. Exactly what does she have to do with you? I can understand a dancer having a picture of a big-time hoofer around. But what do you want with a news lady?
Maybe I'm trying to cover a crack on the wall.
Yeah, maybe there's something you don't want to tell me.
It's no big deal. I just like her looks, that's all.
So do I.
The first night I got into town, I happened to see her on TV. Well, she looked like the kind of woman who really had her act together.
Yeah, she's good. I'll grant you that.
Nicole Drake is beautiful, smart, and she has a dynamite career going for her.
And you want to be just like her?
She has some things I wouldn't mind for myself.
You sound a little jealous.
Look, if the artwork bugs you, I'll take it down.
I'm not complaining. I just think you're a little old for hero worship, that's all.
And I don't recall asking for your opinion.
Most dancers are a little flaky. But if there were a contest, you'd win first prize.
I love you, too.
You really are a strange one. You know, I don't even know your last name.
You will, when it's up in lights.
Ah, what am I supposed to do? Tell everybody I knew good old Jody what's-her-name way back when? The minute the opportunity arises, you're off to Broadway or Hollywood and all that jazz.
You better believe it. And it's gonna happen for me.
2 bits of advice. First, watch out for the wet floor tonight when you come home. Second, remember, for every light on Broadway.
Don't worry. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I have a few other irons in the fire, too.
Okay. Smart lady. Well, see you later, old Jody, what's her name?
The name is Travis. Jody Travis.
The role of Kelly McGrath is now being played by Alan Fawcett.
Hey, Disco Dan.
What?
Well, how do you like the unicorn?
Hey, well, man, far out.
Tell me, aren't you a little old to be going out dancing every night?
Nah, dancing's great exercise for old folks.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm gonna open my own disco for old folks.
Oh, yeah? What are you gonna call it?
The Slipped Disco.
Hey, kid, you knock it off. The boss is going to be here any minute.
Oh, yeah, right. Hey, well, that's all for the Poco Puppets tonight.
Drinks are on the house. Oh.
Not really.
Look, I'm sorry, Kelly, but you know what happened? The boss walked in here and saw you fooling around those puppets again.
Yeah, I'd probably be looking through the Help Wanted ads in tomorrow morning's paper. But you got to admit that the kids love it. They love them.
Except the one guy that counts around here, the boss.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, let's face it, the guy don't dig Punch and Judy shows. Hey, well, you want to do me a favor? Why don't you take those little guys home and leave them there? What are you doing? Get out of here, will you?
Okay, all right.
And take that with you.
Hey, hi, Jody.
Oh, hi, Kelly. How are you?
Okay.
Is that a new one?
What, Disco Dan? Nah, he's an old friend. Hey, why don't you say hi to the pretty lady?
Hey, baby, I dig your style.
Aren't you afraid people are going to think you're a little weird? I mean, always walking around with a puppet on your arm?
Oh, that's not weird.
No, that's showbiz.
That's really what you want to do, isn't it? Be in show business.
Yeah, and we're going to make it, too. It might take a little while. And when we open our first show on Broadway, we're going to send you tickets.
Well, just don't forget. There's a broken heart
for every light on Broadway. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll send you those tickets first, Kelly, if I get there before you.
You?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot more dances on Broadway than there are puppets and puppeteers.
Are you a dancer?
You couldn't tell by the way I wait on tables?
No, I guess we missed the performance.
Sure. Well, I always pirouette when I serve a pizza. And if someone orders the steak dinner, I do a terrific jazz ballet.
Hey, come on now. Be serious. Can you really dance?
I live in a dance studio. And I mean literally.
Not the one down the road.
That's right.
Well, have you ever been in a show?
No, not yet. When I get that offer from Broadway, it's going to be my debut.
Yeah. Well, we think you're going to be terrific.
Oh, thanks. Right now, I better dance on over to the customers and see what they want to eat.
Yeah, we better get out of here before Mr. Doran comes back. He said he'd have me shot at sunrise if he caught me in there with the puppets again, you know? You want to go?
Okay, guys. I'll
See you later, baby.
Well, did you see that?
Yeah, man. She's some sharp chick. Think she'd go out with me?
Why don't you and I check it out?
No sooner do I get back to the office this morning than Carol Barkley tells me she's leaving me for another man.
April knows all about that. She knew about it before you did.
Oh, my Lord. Am I the last one to be told?
Again? Oh, thank you, Mom. You can just all right. Carol was, she was upset about leaving you at such short notice. Then she thought about it again, and she thought, well,
maybe she wouldn't be too difficult to replace after all.
Oh, I don't know about that. Good assistants don't grow on trees, you know.
Come on, Miles, now be realistic. Since you've reduced your practice to make room for all your forensic work, you don't really need a trained nurse anymore. What you do need is someone to, keep your appointment book balanced and do all the paperwork. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And what you really need is a receptionist secretary.
Well, maybe you're right. I'll just have to put an ad in the paper and start interviewing.
If you're lucky, you might even be able to have someone by Monday morning.
Oh, sure. If I drop everything else and make it my only priority.
I don't know. I think your sister might be able to save the day. Not only have I found someone who is experienced, but she is also available. And her name is Emily Michaels.
I thought I was the only musician in the family.
Ah, you are, believe me. When I sit down to play, people laugh.
I'm not laughing.
I am what you call a hunt and peck pianist.
Trying to play that tune I heard on April's music box, aren't you?
Yeah, the melody keeps going round and round in my head.
Honey, don't let it haunt you, okay?
It seems like it should mean something to me, but I'll be doggone if I know what.
Well, the only memory it triggers is the picnic.
Yeah, but I think if I keep playing it over and over and over again, my past is going to rush back to me. But it doesn't.
I'll get it. Hello?
Oh, Emily, dear. This is Molly.
Molly, hi. How are things going at April's place?
Just fine. What's this I hear about you taking a job with Mrs. Scott's brother?
Oh, Molly, that's just in the talking stages, but gosh, wouldn't it be wonderful?
Well, no, I don't think it would if you ask me.
Well, why do you feel that way?
Well, first place, you're not a trained nurse, and that's what Dr. Kavanaugh needs. You would be in way over your head.
April told me her brother needs someone just to do secretarial duties, and that's exactly what I did for Daddy.
But your father didn't have a big city medical practice. You just helped him with odds and ends.
But I'm sure I could handle it.
No, Emily, you can't. And, well, I don't want to see you take a job only to be fired in a week just because you're not qualified. I don't want to see you be that disappointed.
Molly, look, I really appreciate you trying to protect me, but I'm sure everything's going to be fine.
Emily, the truth is, I don't think you should be close to those people in any way.
I think they're very nice.
They are city people, Emily. They have nothing in common with you.
What?
Don't you see? You can't let Kirk meet them. You just mustn't.
Why?
Well, because he has so many problems of his own right now. Also, the two of you are just beginning to get used to your life together, and well, wouldn't it be better if you just shut out the rest of the world and concentrated on each other?
Molly, I think you're worrying about nothing.
Oh, did you honestly believe that I would tell you this unless I thought it was the best for you? Please take my advice. Stay away from those people. If you and Kirk get mixed up with them, it will be a disaster.
See? Can't argue with facts.
No.
Miles' autopsy report shows beyond a doubt that the body in the wreck was not Draper's.
All we have to do is figure out how the switch was made.
Oh, boy. This thing opens up such a messy can of worms. We're going to have to walk on eggshells with this information. It cannot get out.
Absolutely. The fewer people who know about it, the better.
That's why I've appointed myself a task force of one to look into it.
Well, you might be biting off more than you can chew, Logan. There's a lot of ground to cover, and the trail is pretty cold by now.
Yeah, I know. But since Draper was a prisoner at the time of the wreck, Chief Mallory has offered me the resources of the police department, and I'm seriously considering taking him up on the offer. I have no illusions about my ability as a sleuth.
You know, Deborah and Calvin are good friends of April's. You might request that they be assigned to assist you. That way you wouldn't have to worry about information leaks.
I've already thought of that. Believe me, Mike, I'm going to do anything I have to do. As long as there's the remotest possibility that Draper's still alive, we got to track that
Hey, did you say Draper's still alive? What's this all about?
Cliff, it's customary to knock when you come into somebody else's office.
I'm sorry for barging in unannounced.
Oh, damn you, Cliff. What are you doing here?
I work here. Mike said you were coming over. I assumed it was about the custody case.
From now on, never assume anything, okay?
Look, I'm sorry. Did I hear right?
Oh, you eavesdropped perfectly. Now let what you heard go in one ear and out the other. I know you can do that because it happened all the time when you were at the DA's office.
What you heard is strictly speculation. We have no facts to back it up yet.
The media gets a hold of this, they're going to have a field day. You've got to keep this quiet.
Cliff, what we're trying to do is to keep this information from April.
But how do you know that Draper is still alive?
Do you remember those photographs the Graham County Police sent over?
Yeah, from the train wreck. How can I forget?
Well, Mike turned up a very large discrepancy in one of them that made us think the body handcuffed to Deputy Dwyer was not Draper's.
How could that be?
We don't know yet. But Chief Mallory ordered the body to be exhumed, and the dental records proved we were right.
Well, then, what happened to Draper?
It's a question I'm going to work very hard to answer.
I could see why you wouldn't want April to hear this. All she'd do is get her hopes up.
And probably false hopes.
Well, nobody's heard from Draper since the train wreck. He probably drowned in the river with all the other people.
The thought occurred to us.
Boy, this is the worst possible thing for April. Nothing worse than hearing that your husband is dead is hearing that he's alive but missing.
I take your concern to mean that you'll go along with our request.
Look, I caused that woman enough trouble just by convicting Draper. You think I want to cause her any more misery?
Cliff, we all have April's best interests at heart. I hope you will keep that in mind.
Look, you can count on me, boss.
Well, I gotta run. I got an appointment.
If you need any help on anything, let me know.
Help with what?
Oh, yeah, right. I don't know anything about anything.
You keep that thought. Talk to you soon, Mike.
Okay.
Wow. Talk about a bolt of lightning from out of the blue.
It's that, all right.
This comes at the worst possible time.
Would there have been a good time for this to have happened?
You know what I mean. After the tragedy, everybody started to put their life back together again. It's got to be the worst for Logan.
Why just Logan?
Hey, Mike, you know he's got a king-size crush on April.
They've always been good friends, Cliff.
Yeah, but since Draper's been dead, I think he wants to be more than just friends. Just when the coast is clear, this comes up.
Cliff, do you have any work left to do?
Oh, no, I'm done for the day.
Well, I'm not. So why don't we just say good night?
Yeah, sure. Good night.
All right, now look. I don't want to hear a peep out of you. You understand? You be on your very best behavior. Now, you sit down and you read this book. Okay. Good, she's here.
I'm sorry I'm late, honey.
Come in.
I'm afraid I got a little lost on my way over here.
Mrs. Cross, you live downstairs.
So I do. It's a joke. Oh, now there's that cute little matinee idol.
Wait a minute, Mrs. Cross, sit down. Are you feeling okay?
I feel wonderful.
Yeah, I bet you do. Because when you get within 10 feet of my little boy, he probably will get drunk from your breath.
I took a little nip before I came over. 'Cause it's chilly outside.
Mrs. Cross, it's the middle of summer.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you actually think I'm going to let you stay with my little boy in that condition?
What condition is that?
How were you going to entertain him? Sing a couple of rousing choruses of 99 bottles of beer on the wall?
Does he know that one?
Oh, I don't believe this.
Oh, listen, don't worry about it, honey. I'm as steady as a rock.
Stiff as one, you mean?
I can hold my liquor.
Yeah, I bet you can hold your liquor. I don't know who needs a wet nurse more, you or Jamie.
Hey, you just scoot on out of here. Have yourself a terrific time. You got nothing to worry about.
What kind of a mother do you think I am? That little boy is more precious than gold to me.
Well, you can trust me. I can take care of him.
I bet you can. Who's going to take care of you after you pass out? Goodbye, Mrs.
Hey,
Cross.
no, wait a minute. Hey, listen. I expect to get paid for my time, you know?
All right, when you're steady enough to hold a pen, you send me a bill, okay? Bye. Oh, now what am I going to do? That's right, Jamie. You be nice and quiet. Eat your cracker. Be a good little boy. Okay.
Unicorn.
Elliot, it's Raven.
Hello, Raven. I trust you calling to tell me you're on your way.
Not quite.
What do you mean, not quite? I thought we had a date. You know how upset I'll be if you break it again.
Look, I know you think that just because you have that letter, it makes your every wish my command, but unless you want to make it a threesome, our date is off tonight.
Who else did you have in mind?
Jamie, you idiot. I was supposed to have a babysitter, but she couldn't make it, and I can't leave him alone.
I thought you had something worked out with a neighbor.
I did, but the neighbor came in drunk, and I can't take any chances with this custody trial.
Oh, well, I guess if the mountain can't come to Muhammad, I'll see if I can duck out a bit later and come over for a nightcap, okay?
Okay, I'll be here. Bye. Darn it. Jamie, you just ruined your mommy's good time. You owe me one, kid.
Well, hi there, Lori Mae. This is your favorite attorney, Cliff Nelson.
Hello,
is that you, Raven?
who's this?
It's Cliff Nelson here.
Oh, hi, Cliff.
Nothing wrong, is there? You sound upset. I hope it's nothing I said.
No, what do you want?
Well, I thought we could talk some business, about the custody suit.
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, it's awfully impersonal on the phone, We haven't seen each other in a very long time.
Well, what exactly did you have in mind?
Oh, I thought we could talk about the case, over dinner some night.
Oh, wait a minute. We really haven't seen each other in a long time, have we? Look, why don't you come over here tonight?
Tonight? Really? Oh. Well, let me check my appointment book and see if I'm free. You happen to be in luck. I happen to be free tonight.
Terrific. Hey, I'll be waiting, okay?
All right, I'll be right over.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, you just might be the answer to my prayers. Am I too late, or do you already have a date?
What are you talking about?
I have got my hands on a brand new babysitter.
Good. I've always thought all problems could be solved if one had the proper incentive. You obviously couldn't stand the thought of being away from me.
Oh, that must be it.
When can I expect you?
Well, look, I don't know if this is going to go through or not, so give me about an hour, and if I'm not there, you'll just have to start without me.
I have every confidence you'll be here. heard of people whistling while they work, but
It makes the time go a little faster.
you seem to be enjoying yourself.
Oh, I love to dance.
Mr. Dorn, I'm going to kill the music now, okay?
Okay, Kelly. Well, if you love to dance, then a disco should be the ideal situation for you.
Far from it.
Uh-oh, do I hear a discordant note among the troops?
Well, it may sound crazy to you, Mr. Dorn, but dancing is my life. Dance floors and places like this just isn't where it's at for me. I'm planning to dance on the stage someday.
There's no business like show business, huh?
You know, ever since I was a little girl, all I've wanted to do is get up in front of an audience and dance. Well, I've been taking lessons for quite some time now, and I'm sure it'll pay off soon.
Well, if that little routine I saw you doing is any indication of your ability, you should go far. And being a fine figure of a woman is not going to hurt you.
Oh, well, I try to keep in shape.
Well, I'm sure you realize that raw talent in this competitive business isn't enough. You need luck, and you have to know people. I might be able to help you.
Really?
Yeah, I know some people in the business. No guarantees, of course, but you never know.
Well, that's really a generous offer, Mr. Dorn.
Well, perhaps during your break you could come to my office and we could discuss this.
I don't know about tonight. I have some out-of-town relatives that I promised I'd call during my dinner break.
Whenever. My door is always open to you.
Some of those people you were talking about wouldn't happen to work at the local TV station, would they?
I'm well acquainted with most of the executives at WMON.
No kidding?
Yeah, the station manager, the station owner, and the star anchor woman are all good friends of mine.
Nicole Drake?
Yeah, we've known each other for some time now.
What's she like?
She's a nice woman. Not one of your show business prima donnas, you know.
Well, I heard she was married to a doctor. Are they happy?
To the best of my knowledge, yeah.
Well, what does she like to do when she's not covering stories? Is she into the arts?
You seem to have a lot of interest in Nicole Drake, huh? Are you planning to write one of those unauthorized biographies?
I'm just interested. That's all.
Well, I have some business to tend to. If you want to continue this conversation, you know where to find me.
I'll keep that in mind.
Hey, the boss seems in a lot better mood now.
Oh, hi, Kelly.
I couldn't help but overhear part of what you and Mr. Dorn were talking about.
Oh, that's all right. We didn't exchange any deep, dark secrets.
You were asking him about Nicole Drake.
So?
Well, I happen to know Nicole, too.
I thought you said you haven't been in Monticello very long.
Well, I've been over to WMON. I did some station promos for him, with my puppets.
Oh, then you got to meet her.
Well, no, actually, I was in and out of the place before she had come in for the day.
Well, then don't make it sound like you're the best of friends when you don't even know the woman.
Hey, look, Nicole Drake is very good friends with the people I'm staying with, my aunt and uncle. Hey, that's the truth.
Well, that still doesn't make you an authority on her.
No, it doesn't, but if you'd like to meet her, I might be able to help arrange an introduction.
Well, that's really sweet of you, Kelly. But I'll pass.
Well, hey, look, I don't get this. You want to know all about her, and yet you don't want to meet her. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I never said I didn't want to meet her. I have every intention of doing just that. Well, I better get back to work before Mr. Dorn decides to revert back to being Mr. Hyde.
Jody?
Hmm?
Oh, well, I was just thinking, well, since we have the same nights off and everything, well, do you think that you'd like to catch a movie with me or something when we don't have to work?
Well, that's really nice of you to ask, Kelly, but I don't think so.
Well, it doesn't have to be this week. I mean, whenever it's convenient for you.
I'm flattered, Kelly, but really I can, okay?
You have a boyfriend. I should have known.
No, it's not that. Well, you may have a couple of nights off a week, but I don't have any.
Well, I didn't know you had another job.
When I'm not here, I'm practicing at the studio. You know, keeping in shape. I spend all my free time dancing.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You know, you're getting ready for Broadway.
I'm sorry, Kelly.
Yeah, so am I.
I came over as quick as I... Wow, Raven, you look fabulous.
Thank you. I put on this dress just for you.
Really? You didn't have to do that, although it does appeal to my male ego.
Well, I like to look nice for you.
Brought a bottle of wine.
Thank you. Yeah, screw-on cap and everything.
Well, it's better that way. You see, that way you don't get any cork in your glass.
Well, look, before we drink, I want to talk to you. I suspect that you're just trying to ply me with alcohol, so I'll say something to help you with your court battle, right?
Okay, I'll make this short and sweet.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about that letter situation.
I don't want to talk about that.
Well, we got to talk about that. I have to admit that was the most creative bit of evidence destroying I've ever seen.
I told you exactly what happened. I had the letter in my hand, the wind came, and it blew it right over the ledge.
Oh, I see. Would you mind repeating that with a lie detector attached to you?
Wait a minute. I don't have to take
Oh, wait,
this.
wait. I'm sorry. I guess I should congratulate you. That trick was mean and sneaky and illegal, but very clever.
Well, I hope it didn't hurt your case.
Well, it destroyed the only bit of hard evidence we have, but I don't think you did as much damage as you think.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Well, April Scott saw that letter, right? Eyewitness testimony is just as good as the letter itself in court.
After all April's been through, Logan wouldn't dare put her through the ordeal of a court case.
Wrong. Logan wants that kid more than anything. He's already made an arrangement with April, and she's going to testify.
Really?
Yeah, so I thought we could avoid a messy courtroom scene. Thought we could make some arrangement here, and you know how this case is going to end up.
Well, it makes perfect sense. April would turn against me and side with Logan.
All she's going to do is just tell the truth.
No, he's been so attentive to her, she would do anything he asks.
You think the only thing that Logan sees in April is that she's going to testify, hmm?
Well, what other reason could there possibly be?
Look, Logan does not do things for ulterior motives, unlike some people that I know. Sure, he was sympathetic to her, but after all, she did lose her husband. But in case you haven't noticed, Logan is crazy about April.
How long have you been suffering from these delusions?
You think I'm kidding, huh?
Cliff, be rational. Logan is a very attractive man, and he has excellent taste in women. What could he possibly see in April Scott?
Beauty, as they say, is in the eye of the beholder.
She is a wishy-washy blonde with absolutely no sex appeal.
Well, I have no trouble looking at her.
Well, Logan is just romancing her to use her vulnerabilities to help his court case.
You better get wise, Jezebel. Logan has stars in his eyes, and April's the one who put him there. Now, he thinks that she's the bee's knees. He thinks that no other woman can hold a candle to her, and that includes you.
Well, he's certainly lowering his standards. Cliff, you said that you didn't have any place to go tonight, right? That you're free?
No, I'm not free, but I'm reasonable.
Well, there is something that you could do for me that would make me real happy.
Well, your wish is my command.
Thank you. Why don't you just sit down here and sip your wine, lean back, relax.
Well, that sounds good so far.
And if the baby cries, will you bring in the bottle? It's on the stove. I'm just going to run in here and get a few things ready.
Hey, where are you going?
Well, I'm just going out for a while, but don't worry, I'll be right back.
Wait, you're going to go out and leave me here?
Somebody has to stay with Jamie.
Wait a minute. When I said your wish is my command, being your babysitter is not what I had in mind.
I'll pay you the going rate, and you can eat whatever's in the refrigerator.
I mean, you can't do this to me. I'm a lover, not a babysitter.
Well, why don't you try this? You might find something you're good at.
wait a minute. Just because you're jealous of April and Logan, don't take it out on me.
The thought of me being jealous of April Scott is absurd.
Yeah, well, admit it, huh? Even though you're separated from Logan, the thought that he'd be in love with another woman really rankles you. Admit it!
You let me out. April is madly in love with her dead husband.
Yeah?
I mean, those torches are awfully heavy to carry, especially for a pretty young widow.
Well, suppose she's not a widow, huh? Draper Scott may be alive.
What did you say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Cliff, you said that Draper Scott might still be alive.